welcome to the episode 16 of the From Junk to Jank podcast with Ryan, Curtis, and Josh.
Hi.
Yeah, this is gonna be a fun night.
Hi, friends. How was everybody?
Hi.
So we doing some stuff. We have quite the docket this week to go through, and then and then Ryan's got a little extra something for us at the end, which we actually legitimately don't know anything about. So we'll see what happens with that.
Because screw them, I got it to myself.
Ryan's like, this is my show now.
I'll hijack this thing like Wheeler hijacked North 100.
Okay.
For anyone wondering, that is my favorite Magic podcast right now. And if you want to listen to it, do it. It's on the Loading Regular on Magic YouTube channel. Fantastic. It's also about a format that no one in Massachusetts plays. So,
my favorite audio podcast is ours because I actually get to work on it.
I mean, fair. I like listening to a format that I'll never play.
What, Canadian Highlander?
Yeah, I would love to play that format. So cool.
I mean, yeah, you were watching the those people do competitive Canadian Highlander with like High Tide and like watching them go off on turn 2.
Someone went off with tin fins every single round in 100 card singleton, and I was over the moon. Nothing's cooler than watching a deck that has like a restricted number of tutors in it, like try to go off.
Tutors, I used to play when tutors used to be
good,
like real. That was not fun.
You can't. Tutors are still real in Legacy. Play against Tess and tell me that tutors aren't real.
Not like demonic though, and you know the 1-mana ones. Those ones were all real scary. That was even before Storm too, so like they would just get like a big thing.
Oh, you can Infernal Tutor in response, crack your LED, and get the exact card you want.
But with Canadian Highlander, they have this like neat thing where it's like their points list restricts what you can and cannot play.
Yeah.
And so they, like, if you're playing, like, all the tutors are pointed. Like, all the good tutors, that is.
Yeah.
Because there are some poopy tutors. And, like, so they point all the good tutors, and, like, if they're, how relevant they are, and that's, like, how they determine how much they're worth.
Yeah.
And, like, you'd be surprised at, like, some of the rankings, I bet. Like, they're weird. But, like, you could probably name what number 1 is, like, easily.
Vampiric Tutor or Demonic Tutor?
Demonic Tutor.
Yeah, Demonic.
Because it's just the best.
Demonic Tutor's the 1-mana one that puts it in your hand, right?
2-mana one.
No,
2-mana.
Puts it in your hand.
Okay.
But it's just right away, and
you just pay 2 mana and grab
Vampiric. Vampiric is another really good
one. So leaving it Legacy asked about tutors. They were asking about like tutors, and they were going like super hard. The tutors I ended up coming up with is that there's a creature that can tutor for a sorcery or an instant 2 or less. So it's like
Spellseeker.
So it's like, oh yeah, Spellseeker and Finale of Devastation can tutor for each other.
Yeah, actually.
And he was like, oh no, I'm going deep. I'm not even going on the usual ones.
I know in Highlander, like they were talking about Spellseeker, and like it's actually, I guess, one of the most played blue cards there is. Because even in the non-combo decks, like you at least get the value of just like, here's this creature that also lets me just find what I want.
Oh, I was thinking too easy. I was thinking too small. I forgot the Eldramaris call was a card.
Eldramaris call.
The card's in Modern now. I should play with that card somewhere.
Yeah,
it's extremely good. I might have one. I might have an old one.
I have one. I have one of the new ones from Modern Horizons that I opened, but none of the old ones. And like, yeah,
I need that Moon.
Okay, you probably should. It's pretty good. All right.
Oh, Curtis, I didn't get to tell you the story, but everyone else has heard it so far. It's fantastic.
Yeah.
I played Moon Druid the other day again in Modern League. And all that is, it's like a turbo Devoted Druid deck, but it plays Magus of the Moons in the main. And I'm playing against this Esper Control opponent. In Game 2, I Blood Mooned him out of the game and like beat him to death with a 2-2. Game 3, my man fetches a basic Plains and a basic Swamp, if he even fetched them. and got Blood Moon out of the game again.
Okay, well.
And then he
Blood
says,
Moon's still strong.
He goes, cheesy fucking deck. And I respond with, maybe next time you should play more basics in your control deck.
Yeah, I mean.
He had fucking drowned catacombs.
Blood Moon should always be around, in my opinion.
There's a reason. There's a reason why the most popular control deck in Modern for a while was Jeskai, because at least you're playing Jeskai. At least one of your colors is red.
There you go. Yeah, you got at least bolt stuff still.
At least still bolt your opponent to death with Jeskai control.
Or if you had planes, you could at least Lightning Helix things. Like you had options then.
Yeah.
This guy was just sitting here with a bunch of red men. Flop of the planes and just staring at it, and then it's just like, this is stupid. And I'm like, well, this is your fault.
Yeah, when I used to play
Esper, people could just play basic lands.
When I used to play Esper Control Leagues on Magic Online with Modern Esper Control when that started getting big, like I literally the deck I was playing didn't have Thoughtseizes on the sideboard, and I was like, I have to fucking put in Thoughtseizes for all these Blood Moon decks because I just literally die if they get it. And I don't have the mana for Cryptic Command, so need to put Thoughtseize in my deck.
Yeah, or just play more basics.
Well, now that
it's funny, Josh, they printed this card called Prismatic Vista.
Yeah, also this was before Prismatic Vista was a thing.
Actually, is that a new fetch land?
Yeah, that's the fetch land from Modern Horizons that can grab basics.
Wait,
any three color control deck, fuck it, just play Snow Basics and Astrolabe and Gucci. Mana fixing forever, even if they blood.
Even if Astrolabe just gets around it.
Even if they just Blood Moon you, they're good, and your basics, even if they're so even if like Tyler, if he Blood Moons himself, his Mouth of Rowanams, there's still snow on lands, so he can still actually cast Astrolabe perfectly fine. So Blood Moon doesn't strip the snow off of lands.
I mean, to be fair, I don't think Scrud is the best example to be saying that with, but sure.
I know, it's just an example.
Seeing as they're a Blood Moon deck that also plays nothing but snow-covered lands.
Yeah, but you know what I mean. Anyway, we should probably start getting on to our topics before we...
What's the first one?
Before we ramble too much. I mean, I just wrote these topics in any old order. We can go in any order we want. Ryan, since you're going last today, do you want to go first as well?
Sure.
You want to talk about your latest, I wouldn't say invention, but your latest love in the Modern format now that...
You mean part of the reason I actually played Modern last night in a actual store and wanted to go out and socialize with people?
You mean Modern doesn't suck? What kind of world is this?
I mean, you could also literally name this episode that, because for everyone wondering, I hate Modern. I'm playing nothing but Modern this entire last week. Theros came out and I just have not cared enough. And I mean that.
Ryan is so excited for Mox Opal to be banned that he's just
oh my god, you don't even understand. And I don't I feel bad for some people that I know that it got banned and they had Tyler who had a foil playset.
I actively feel bad for Matt Fastman at this point.
You know, I would have felt bad for him.
That sucks.
If he would have sold out of the Mox Opals as soon as KCI got banned. He didn't.
Yeah, well.
So I don't really feel as bad. I feel bad in a way, but
he has invention Mox Opals too.
Yeah, he does.
Yeah. All right. Anyway, Ryan, if you wanna start on your
so
teaching
Curtis and I have this philosophy that we love, and it's called you turn things sideways.
Yep.
It's a very, very complicated strategy that some people don't understand, i.e. Josh. You hate playing aggro decks, that's what that means.
I like playing spells. Sorry. That's how I
play spells in this deck, I don't know what you're talking about.
You know what I mean.
So I took an old Modern deck that got one new toy in the last few months, maybe. There used to be Zoo. Zoo was a big deck in Modern for the longest time. And I decided we're gonna take Zoo to the next level, baby. Bringing it back. And I have a 5-0 list up on Goldfish right now. There's something to be said for the fact that Wild Nacatl used to be banned.
Yeah, that still blows my mind.
That is my favorite thing to point out about this deck is like when people look at it and they go, "Wow, this deck's pretty cool," and I'm like, "Yeah, you know, Wild Mikado used to be banned."
Yeah, like it's so insane to think that like a 1-mana 3/3 in a format with Lightning Bolt was too good when the format started. You know, it was actually one of the cards that they initially were like, no, fuck that card. We're keeping it on the ban list to start. It's too good.
Yeah, I remember, and it was just one of those things where it was like, all right, why not? And so I've been messing with it, and honestly, I'm impressed. I'm very impressed.
It murders people.
I played against Burn twice last night, and I'm confident in saying I think the matchup's like 60-40 for me.
The only reason I won the first game we played is because I literally drew all 4 of my lightning helixes.
So funny enough, I've beaten people that have drawn helixes. Searing Blaze is the big one. But then the last round last night, I beat a guy who drew like all 4 of his Searing Blazes. I just still beat him.
Wow.
And so, Curtis, you might know who he is. He's this bigger guy named Sam. He's kind of loud.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he was playing Burn last night, and we're playing the last round. In our
4
game
people,
3,
4...
he nugged every single dude that I played. He's at 2 life. And I have an Atarkus command sitting in my hand, and I see him tap out and attack me with a Swift Spear, and I'm like, cool, I'm going to untap and just cast this thing. And he goes, God damn it, that'll do it.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know, I think Zoo's like really good right now, honestly.
Aggro's typically extremely good at the beginning of a new format, so...
It's also just a hell of a drug.
Also, for the record, 4 people were playing Burn last night.
Yeah.
And an 8-person Modern, and I've also never seen Monday Night Modern be that small.
I talked to Danny about it, and she said like lately it has been going down, but it still fires every week, which is nice.
Yeah.
So the other funny thing that I had noticed was and it was because Tyler had mentioned it. The entire room, Curtis, besides one person, was playing the card Lightning Bolt.
Yep.
Yeah, red is extremely good.
The person
when things are uncertain.
The person not playing red was also playing 4 main deck copies of Delay.
And he was technically undefeated.
And
Delay?
Delay.
Yeah.
2 mana counter target spell, put 3 time counters on it.
What the hell?
So basically, you make your opponent suspend it instead.
Yeah, so you...
Then he plays Teferi. Like 3 mana Teferi.
Yeah, and then you go, well, 3 mana... Yeah, so... I basically lost my lost my game 1 against him by suspending a Riftbolt on turn 4 and him going to Teferi, and I'm like, yeah, that's Exile Forever. Fuck, now I just lost a spell for completely nothing.
I have not beaten that deck ever.
Fuck Teferi.
Like, I'm not gonna lie to you, Josh. I've not beaten him.
Can Teferi just...
I just can't do anything.
Can 3 mana Teferi just get banned in Modern? Like, please. Like, that's kind of fucked up.
That annoying?
It's so... annoying, Curtis. Like, you don't know.
It just counters Riftbolt for free.
Okay, I'm not gonna lie to you, Josh. If that's the reason you think it should be banned, then I think we have bigger problems than that.
There's more reasons.
A bunch of weird stuff.
There's more reasons than that, but that's the reason I want it gone.
It stops things that it like shouldn't affect. You know,
you can't cast spells with Chandra Torch of Defiance or 4 mana War Chandra actually either.
Yeah, it stops a bunch of weird stuff from happening, which I don't really like. But other than that, I don't mind it that much. But when it does like overpowered stuff like that, it kind of bothers me. Because like I didn't know it did that, or like that Allure the Unknown card, kind of random, stops the opponent from being able to cast that.
Yeah, like the thing about Teferi that makes him annoying isn't like that he's too good. It's just like the incidental things that he does.
There's a lot of prison things.
I feel like Teferi wouldn't be as bad if it was a symmetrical effect. Like, if it was a symmetrical effect, you would actually have to build around him. Like, I feel like Esper Doom in Standard would be a great way to build around him, because, like, you don't play counter spells, but you also force your opponent to play... You force your opponent to also play Hearthstone, but you don't give a shit, because you're playing Hearthstone. You force your
opponent to play Hearthstone.
I mean, that's literally what it is. Like,
I know, it just sounds like the ultimate insult.
I know, but like Fires of Invention decks, like it'd be great because like Fires of Invention decks playing Teferi would be great because you're just forcing your opponent to play on your terms, and that's amazing. And and like your deck's already built around it, but not like too powerful. But like the way that it is right now, you just slot him into every blue-white deck. You'd be like, oh, Spell Queller? Oh yeah. You just draw 2 cards and that spell gets countered for free. Fuck you. Like
it guarantees all of your things resolved too.
Yeah. No.
If it wasn't for that stupid thing, I would actually play Pioneer blue-white control.
It's just infinite Veil of Summer.
I just well that card existing is also why I don't believe blue-white control is good. The blue-white mirrors in this form in Pioneer, oh boy, must be a friggin' like nightmare.
You gotta get your Aether Gusts ready, because that's the best way to fight Veil of Summer, in my opinion.
Well, we're talking about Pioneer right now, Curtis, but
you mentioned Veil of Summer, and I had to spend a whole like 2 months trying to figure out that card.
And now it's in the sideboard. And now it's in the sideboard of my Legacy deck because like there's no reason to not do it. It stops Veil of Summer stops me from getting unmasked against Reanimator on turn 1. Like there's no reason to not do it.
I like it in Legacy, personally.
But yeah, basically like that's why like I built blue-white control in Pioneer, and I was testing it, and I'm just like, I don't know, because I'm like, why is this the default control deck of the format? Like, I just don't feel like it's doing anything powerful.
It's just trying to get to that Teferial, just like old times.
Yeah, I guess.
But
it's the best thing to be doing,
honestly. But anyway,
awful as it sounds.
Anyway,
but I personally think that there's better things you can do, and everyone's kind of just going with the old. I mean, Torrential Gearhulk was. I don't know how that's not seeing more play right now.
I agree with that. Like that I play that card. I think the card's busted.
I've lost to that card more times.
You know, Teferi also stops that.
Yeah, but like it doesn't stop. Wait, it stops his free thing.
It stops you from casting the card. Yeah, because the trigger's still on the stack when you're putting the card on the stack. Therefore, the stack's not clear. Therefore, you're playing at instant speed. Therefore, you can't do it.
I guess, yeah. That's annoying. That's annoying in just the mirror, though.
But anyway, Ryan, continue on with Zoo, because we just like went on a 5-minute tangent about different.
I was agreeing with a lot of what you guys were saying. No, like I don't really have much else to say. It's funny because the deck is just like an aggro deck that turns into a Hate Bears deck post board.
I mean, you just kind of get to like, because the game that I felt the most helpless against you when we were playing our like test games last night before Modern fired was the game where you literally just went like, I put 8 power in the play on turn 2, go, and I'm just like, so I'm done. I'm not even gonna bother to. Yeah, he went Herbalist, Burning Tree, Goblin Guide, the 1-mana level up guy from Modern Horizons. I forget what it's called.
Hexdrinker.
Yeah, Hexdrinker, and said go. Just like there's no reason for me to continue to play this game. I have 1 mountain in play.
Is Pyroclasm legal in Modern?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It is?
Oh yeah, Pyroclasm is legal. The problem is like.
See, that's the answer. Right there.
It's just like it's not good enough sometimes. That's the thing.
It's a great card.
Yeah,
I'm a big fan of that card.
Isn't Pyroclasm banned in a format?
No.
Wasn't Pyroclasm banned in something before?
I don't know. Like Pyroclasm, the 2-mana deal some amount of damage to everything.
Something, or maybe I'm just thinking of what's his face. The thing where you...
Yeah, Pyroclasm, the 2-mana deal 2 damage to each creature.
I'm just looking on
that's
Gathering.
The one.
I'm just looking at Gathering.
That's it.
I was like, I don't think it's banned in anything. It's not that good.
No, it's not banned in anything. I must be thinking of a different card then.
I think you are.
Alright. Jackal used to be banned. It's not. Never forget.
It's actually kind of insane.
Okay,
yeah.
The oppression of red will never end.
Jackal used to be banned. Fucking Wild Nacatl used to be banned. Why? Because they thought aggro decks were too good? Like,
now they're pushing aggro decks, it seems, because the mid range.
Oh yeah, it was Punishing Fire. I was thinking of.
Yes,
Punishing Fire. I can see why.
That
card's insane. Yeah, there's an entire archetype built around it in Legacy.
Yeah.
But anyway, moving on. Do you have anything else to add? You don't have anything else to add, right, Ryan?
No, I'm good. What do you want to talk about now?
Curtis.
Hey, what's
Want
up?
to talk about Curtis? We can talk about Curtis.
How's the whole arena standard going?
It's pretty great so far, in my opinion. Some people are complaining about Simic already. Surprise.
Weird.
The remaining pieces of the deck that have not been banned are still good. Unsurprising.
I basically have been seeing Hoagland on his stream every day, like face 4 Simic decks with every deck he plays, because it's just that good right now. Because people haven't figured, because this wasn't that like the default best thing to be doing last format, so of course like that's what people are gravitating towards the start, right?
Well, just like look at some of the cards that are like the engines, like Nissa, Krasis. They're all really hard to deal with and leave something behind.
Yeah, a lot of them draw you a card.
Yeah, they draw you card. They increase your resources exponentially and put your opponent like hugely on the back foot, or just catch you up. You know,
when you are behind.
They're both insane top decks, and then you look at the surrounding spells of Risen Reef, Leafkin Druid, and now the two new big additions are Euro, Titan of Nature's Wrath, which is pretty
pretty
close to Oko in stats in a lot of ways.
The card is nuts.
The card is a fucking meme.
So nuts.
And the other card, before we get too hyped about what I'm about to talk about, Nyx Bloom Ancient is absolutely insane.
I think you need to do more research on Nyx Bloom Ancient before we can really...
So I've been saying this for a while. I think this is probably the most ridiculous card I've seen in recent memory.
For people who are not aware of what Nyx Bloom Ancient does, Curtis, what does Nyx Bloom Ancient do?
The text is it is a green 4. It is a 5/5 with trample.
Which who gives a shit about that? Who gives a shit about that?
It's an elemental is a big thing.
Yeah. So it gets it triggers your Risen Reef when it comes into play.
And then if you tap a permanent for mana, it produces 3 times as much of that mana instead.
So if you get the Leafkin Druid and it's already producing you 2, it magically produces you 6 mana, just like that.
And I have 2 on the battlefield right now. And
how much mana are you making with a single land?
1 land can make 9 mana.
Okay, so it is exponential.
Yeah, I was wrong.
Wow.
And one Castle Garenbrig can make
18 creature mana. 18 creature mana.
56.
Holy shit.
50. 59. That's not right.
It's 16. It's so we make 6 normally. Times 3 makes it 18. Times 3 would make 54 mana.
Yeah.
Make 54 creature mana.
Yeah.
That is insane.
Yeah.
So how big of a Hydroid Krasis are we casting?
So I have a Krasis in my hand. I can, at the moment, with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 lands, I can cast it for...
You can deck yourself.
Jesus.
You can just deck yourself with it, probably.
44 and 54. What's that? I have a Leafkin too. What's 44 plus 54? What's that?
Enough.
40...
Enough?
80...
98. Minus 98? Minus the 2 for the blue and green. That's a 96 Krasis.
Yeah.
Hold on. A 96 Krasis that draws you 48 cards.
Yeah.
Which means you deck yourself.
Easily, yeah. So
you have Jason play and you win the game.
So with only 1, you make half of that. Or no, not half of that, a third of that. And that's an insane amount.
That's fine.
Leading up to that, which is it costs 7, which is not that much with all of this ramp package surrounding it.
You get Nissa, it's fine.
Yeah, you have Nissa, and then it gets even crazier. But Euro is something that people were a little upset about because it only makes things worse. It's a 3-mana growth spiral that triggers Risen Reef because it enters the battlefield and dies. And then with Cavalier of Thorns, you can bring it back right away. It makes the deck even more resistant to Wraths, which it already was with Cavalier of Thorns. But that was like its one weakness, was Wraths. And now you can exhaust Wraths with Euro and gain life and draw cards. So, yeah, I don't know what's going to beat this deck. I'm trying to figure it out. Let me put it that way.
Yeah.
To be determined. But this is my front runner for something that's going to have to change, because all the other decks are great. They're all just fun. They're all trying to do something like fair and normal. There's a couple combos out there that might make some waves. Like I've come across a pod deck. It's kind of scary sometimes.
The pod deck is nuts. It's just
it can be pretty scary. Yeah,
it's so insane. Like if it just untaps, it literally like untaps with Vanifar, and it just literally just wins the game from like almost nothing.
For people that aren't used to a modern deck, that's probably something that they're not ever going to see in standard normally. So, but like if you have experience in Eternal formats and older how cards are worded in older formats, that can happen sometimes. So you have to be somewhat cognizant of it always. And sometimes they just get you.
Because it's nuts. Because you literally just go, so turn my goose into a corridor monitor with this thing on the battlefield, that when this thing dies, I get an extra copy of the thing. Kill your corridor monitor, it gets you an extra corridor monitor. Then you pod into a 3-drop, you kill the token. The tokens apparently still have the mana cost, so you grab your 3-mana untapper, and then like it's just you climb up the chain that way. And plus you get an extra activation out of each climb up the step, because with Nightmare Shepherd, you just get another untapper for everything you kill. Strider. Yeah, and Woe Strider just is, it's so insane. You get so many, because then you Woe Strider into the 4-drop that literally its only use is to give you 4 devotion, and then you just Gary.
Here's what's even crazier to think about is Wizards thought it was okay for Once Upon a Time to be in this meta with all of this happening.
Imagine the deck with Once Upon a Time, Uro, Veil of Summer, and going in the same goddamn deck.
That pod deck might just be the best thing, because you just win on turn like 3. Like
in Veil of Summer
every game
with Veil of Summer and Once Upon a Time for consistency.
The pod deck,
the
pod deck would just find Vanifer and that Shepherd every single game. So like that's what that deck can kind of prey on this Simic deck, because you don't really have any early interaction. You're just all defense and ramp, and that's like the big weakness of it. Aggro can kind of get under it. Kill their Risen Reef, kill their Leafkin. They're left with 3 mana sometimes, but sometimes they just play Nissa and you die.
Fair.
And that's kind of standard at the moment when you get to the high ranks. So get your Esper Doom ready and hope they don't play Tameo soon.
Get your Esper Doom ready and hope they don't play Tameos.
Yeah, because I'm playing Tameo already.
They will play Tameo if it gets to that point. I'm so surprised they're not actually playing Tameo already.
It's just so linear and like it's also the base form of every deck that we're gonna see. Like all these decks will tune, and Magic is so complicated. It's crazy to think how much these decks change and adapt to everyone else's meta or everyone else's decks in the meta.
So if you're on ladder this week, you should either play Simic or play a deck to beat Simic.
Yes.
If you're on ladder this week, just don't play Curtis and you might be fine.
No, I don't play. I have enough cards that I'm lucky enough that I don't have to really, I like to play a lot. I don't also just play ranked. Like,
so play Simic or play combo if you're playing ladder?
Well, like the whole meta right now is you're either getting under everything, you're either comboing out, or you're ramping.
Or
and by comboing out, like that's like an Esper Doom thing. Like there's lots of things to combo out with.
or
I mean,
stealing your opponent.
the control decks are kind of rough. Like I've been trying to make them work.
Or stealing your opponent's creatures with Thassa and keeping them forever.
I mean, that Elementals deck that Croakies has made is not ideal in my opinion. It's like a bad version of the Simic deck.
So it was good, and then people found Nyx Bloom Agent was actually better, and now it's just like, why even bother with this shit?
You can play like a 60-60, Hydra on turn 8 or something, or 6, or or you can steal a creature for a turn. It's like pick your poison here.
Yeah.
I think a blue-red Thassa deck would make more sense, like
just to claim the firstborn their things and link it with Thassa.
Yeah, like it has to be like an incidental thing too. I don't think it's like I mean, you have to always have Thassa and that stuff, or else your deck's a bunch of junk.
Yeah.
So that's the tricky part. But hold on, let me look at what else I've been working with. Poor Sparky's been
getting dumpstered by you.
Been waiting this whole time.
Curtis is like giving Sparky the business for the sake of science.
Yeah, we had to find out how much 2 Nyx Bloom Ancients made.
All right, so it is. So it's for sure exponential. That's insane.
Yeah, it should be 3 and it was 9 instead. So Phoenix might be back, and from what I found, Phoenix can have with Thirst for Meaning. That's a crazy card. Oh, the other thing I wanted to talk about, this little thing called Dream Trawler. This might have been a mistake.
Oh yeah,
Dream Trawler.
I've already seen people play Dream Trawler and Blue Eye Control and the sideboard for Blue Eye Control and Pioneer. It's just so good.
It's the best.
It protects itself. It does everything.
It's like basically a better Cavalier. Insane. So it's immediately into Jeskai Fires. And I have it as a 3 of right now, and I think I've lost 1 game in 2 leagues with it. Then it obviously goes into the top end of blue white, because you can actually, it's like Morphling. It reminds me of a lot.
Because you can just protect it forever.
Yeah, it costs nothing to protect for what archetype you're playing. And then you attack with it, and it's absolutely insane how much of a house it is sometimes.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know if I've lost a game if I've attacked with it. Like, it's just so it's crazy. And then you play it with the blue or red Cavalier, and you pump it, X4 or X3 or whatever. It's insane. So I think Jeskai Fires is another thing to watch out for, because that's going to be a scary one to deal with.
I've always just inherently hated the Fires decks.
Well, they're OP.
It's just not that they're OP. They just they're not fun because they promote what Teferi already promotes. Because they're basically just the Teferi deck. You know what I mean? It's not fun for anyone to sit there and watch my Jeskai Fires opponent go, well, now I can only play at this speed too, but I'm going to play Teferi, so you can only play at sorcery speed too. And you're like, all right, so we're not going to do anything? And they're like, yeah, we're just going to sit here. And then you're like...
Here's the thing. If Flash isn't that good, which I don't know if it is.
I think it's been pretty bad for a while, but...
I don't know if Teferi's that good right now.
Flash hasn't been good since Once Upon a Time got banned. I don't really feel like... I feel like it's been having a hard time keeping up since the Once ban.
I don't know if it can compete with Ramp anymore. Because of Euro.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I think I'm thinking it. I think it had a chance.
Mm-hmm.
Because it had a chance with Once Upon a Time, because if we just gave you that consistency, but now it just doesn't have that consistency. You know what I mean?
It had a good plan before, and it was kind of tuned to beat the meta of that clunky Fires deck. But now the thing is Fires, I think, will shift to an idyllic tutor based shell, because from what I've experienced with this card, it's bonkers. I think they purposely made the white enchantments. Not pretty, or they made them pretty underwhelming on purpose, because the two good ones are Banishing Light and Elspeth Conquers Death. Elspeth Conquers Death, excuse me, and they're phenomenal. Oh, and of course all the gods like Thassa and
Elspeth. I love Elspeth Conquers Death.
Oh, it's ridiculous.
Such a good card.
So Curtis,
and it deals with everything, by the way. It deals with the problem cards are Cavalier of Thorns, Nissa, and anything trying to pin down any of your threats. And it's like a Eldest Reborn, but in white. It's just so good.
Yeah.
Sorry, what were you gonna say?
Hoagland's tried out a deck, and I'm just wondering if you've seen it.
Possibly.
It was a trying to get the words. It was a black-white Calyx deck.
Yeah,
it's like it splashed green. Yeah, I thought that deck was kind of sick.
Yeah, the enchantments. There's a lot of 1-mana enchantments. I don't know if you know that, but like with Setessan and even just what was the other one? The Eidolon and there's a lot of them that draw you cards, and they snowball really, really fast. From what I've experienced, like if you don't kill all their stuff, they just boggles you out on turn 4 or something.
Is it
hateful Eidolon? That's the one.
Yeah, is that Bogle's deck like legit?
I mean, I've lost to it a bunch, so.
Because it was actually
legit.
It was actually really funny
when I'm dying on turn 4.
It was really funny to just watch Asian Avenger go like, oh, by the way, like face my boss on Arena and like just got murdered.
With Bogles?
Well, apparently it was like the worst mirror in the world. It was actually kind of hilarious how bad it was.
Oh, just 2 Bogles players?
2 Bogles players, like
yeah.
all of their vigilance.
There's not a lot of evasive auras outside of blue.
All of their vigilance enchantments were on each other's
Yeah.
All their vigilance enchantments were on each other's things, and it was just insane. And yeah.
So I realized that's why there's so many edict. That and Dream Trawler. Edict effects are going to be really important.
Yeah.
And I've already started to think about putting Lily's Triumph, and there's also an edict effect for an enchantment, which is insane in black. But with Hateful Eidolon and a few other things, the way Hateful Eidolon's worded is really weird. It says whenever an enchanted creature dies, draw a card for each aura you control that was attached to it. So your deadweight will draw you a card when you kill one of their things.
Yep, it sure will.
And it gets kind of crazy. It gets really crazy. And then with Calyx's ultimate, it can be pretty insane too. So yeah, I think the enchantment archetype is pretty cool and something to be explored for sure. What else is there? All the devotion decks are sort of underwhelming.
You really think so?
Yeah, black has potential, but I mean,
is white just bad?
White's fine. White has explosive starts.
Is there a weenie style deck? You believe it?
It's kind of a mid-range. You can go the heavy 1-drop like Loxodon route still, but like I would probably play more of a mid-rangey version that has like Gideons and Johnnies and like things that are harder to deal with, because there's going to be a lot of wraths around, I think.
Yeah, that makes sense.
But the only other devotion thing or creature I've really been impressed with was Anax, because he just wins you the game sometimes, and he's an uncommon. It's really crazy. Blue is mono blue devotion could be a sleeper.
I can see that.
If you have a Leyline of Anticipation in your hand, in your opener, which isn't that hard with the London Mulligan, you do maybe the most broken thing besides Nyx Bloom Ancient with flashing in a what's it called? What's the Lotus called?
Nyx Lotus.
Yeah, you flash that in and things get wild.
You just flash it in, untap, go, untap, land, go, and then just do your thing on your opponent's turn.
Everything just has like quad blue or like trips blue in that deck, so like you're making like 20 mana in a mono blue deck.
Thassa's Oracle.
Flashing in a Gadwick X10 with 10 floating.
Thassa's just go Thassa's Oracle, flash in Thassa's Oracle, do this thing, look at the top like 10 cards of my deck.
That deck is scary because you can just win regardless of what your opponent's doing, and just like a pod deck, that can be really scary. It's when your opponent is doing things that you can't interact with.
So you mentioned something, and it makes me think about Pioneer, and it almost like in a way sort of segues to Josh's.
It's
problem.
This is gonna affect Pioneer, I think,
a lot
too.
So Thassa's Oracle,
it's affecting almost every format. Like
I've heard bad things about Thassa's Oracle in some formats.
So I was playing Pioneer the other day to try to play against Storm, and I'm sitting here and I'm waiting. Kill me the way you're supposed to kill me, and then all of a sudden they just like decked themselves and played Thassa's Oracle, and I was like, "Are you joking right now?"
Yeah, that's what I do with Mono Blue Devotion.
Also, Josh, you should totally build Lotus Storm for Pioneer.
Like for this weekend?
Hell yeah!
I don't know if I feel confident in my. I don't feel confident in my ability to pilot. Is the only problem.
Yeah, you'll be fine.
Well, going into my topic, I guess, is Ryan's trying to segue into my next topic.
I was just trying to help you because I haven't played enough standard to actually have any input on that, really.
Yeah, I know. I figured I figured Curtis should have a segment where he gets to talk.
Oh no, you're right. I was just saying, like, I was attempting to go to something I can at least try to help with.
Yeah. So
also we were there for a while.
So story time. So I get home on Sunday from shopping for cosplay stuff for Anime Boston. Lewis messages me. He's like, "Hey, I think I'm planning on going to GP Jersey on Saturday. We'd have to leave at 5 a.m. Are you in?"
Oof. 5 a.m.?
Oof.
Tell him to go pound sand. It's 5 a.m.
So I was looking at my schedule, looked at my Pioneer deck, decided I didn't like it, looked at my schedule some more, then like, well, I get out of work at 9 that night, so I'm barely gonna sleep.
Sleep is for the week.
Fuck it, I'm in. And just like before I could think about it anymore, I was just like, yeah, I'll do it. I'll pitch you $20 for gas.
It's gonna be a hell of a drive.
It's gonna be a hell of a drive. Well, the good news about it, and most of the reason why I'm doing it is because I only have to spend $20 on gas instead of however much money it's gonna fucking cost Lewis, which is gonna be definitely more than $20. And B, I have 7 hours there and back I can sleep.
True.
That's fair.
I'm not worried. I'm not worried about. I don't sleep well in the car, but like, regardless, I'm not gonna.
I sleep like a baby in the car.
Regardless,
if I have 3 hours of sleep, I can sleep anywhere.
Regardless, I am not worried about it. But anyway, come to look at the event schedule, and yeah, so Wizards is doing 5 PTQs a weekend at their GPs.
Yeah, so
I have absolutely. Go ahead.
Sorry, go on.
I have absolutely no interest in playing the main event. Because it's Theros Beyond Death sealed, and while Curtis has been trying to convince me I should play more limited, I'm not playing my first trying to play more limited at a GP.
Yeah.
No, I'm just saying you should say I should. You've been telling me for a while I should play more limited in general. But I'm just saying,
not at a GP level right away.
Exactly, that's what I'm saying. Like, I'm not going to do that to myself.
You get smoked.
Yeah.
If you do want to do it at a GP level, only do it. Team Sealed is a blast, but it's like still hell.
Yeah, but
you're gonna go against people who all they do is play Sealed and Limited.
Yeah, exactly. Which is why I'm
not what you want.
Well, I'm just
Etsy.
I'm just using this as a segue to like get to what I'm talking about.
Yeah, I know. But here's something I'd like to, because I actually brought this up on the podcast I did last week or this weekend, I can't remember. But they're really pushing for the PTQs at GPs. Like, you just addressed it too. 5. I didn't know it was 5 though. That's a ton.
It's 2 on Saturday. One's the same. One is sealed. The other is Pioneer. There's 2 on there's 2 on Friday.
That's
2 on
so crazy.
2 on Saturday. 1 at 10 and 1 at noon, and then one on Sunday.
And I think you get buys if you do well in one.
And Fridays, if you do well in the Friday ones, you get buys if you do well. Yeah. That is by far the easiest way to make the Pro Tour. You get 2 buys.
Yeah.
2 buys, even if you don't win. But if you get like top 16, you just get 2 buys. That's
So I learned about this because one of the popular streamers now, Bloody, had actually qualified this way. And I was like, wow, that's crazy, because she was like tweeting about it the whole time. And I was like, this is crazy. Like, when she was talking about the system, I had never even heard that. Like, ever. And I am like obsessed with this stuff.
Yeah.
And I was just like amazed that it's like they took the easiness of the PPTQ system and put it all into the GPs. It blew my mind.
I so wish PPTQs existed locally, but like
but now it's like, oh, we'll shift that awesomeness to the GPs and make the GPs more money. You know?
Yeah, like so
now it incentivizes us to go to GPs a ton more.
This is the only reason I'm going.
So I have a question for you, Josh.
What?
What are you going to play?
God, that is a loaded question right now.
I'm looking right now, and there's so many cool decks.
There's so many cool decks. So let me break down like what
this entire segment is us telling Josh what he should be playing.
Yeah, yeah. Basically,
this segment is.
This is a segment. Yeah. So
there's good options.
So looking at the decks that there are in the format, and like looking at. And because I've been looking at a lot of Pioneer data to try to make as much of an educated decision as I possibly can.
As
like,
you should, yeah.
Because let me be honest, there's only a limited amount of decks I could possibly play at this on Saturday, but I'm trying to make the most educated decision out of those decks that I can.
There's still like a good amount of variety you have.
So
do you want the deck that you should be playing, or the deck that we think?
What do you think, Ryan?
Well, because here's where we are.
When I answer depends on what he wants from us.
Because here's where we are right now. So I have the card. So without like whatever like, and I was looking at the mono green Stompy list you were sending me, Curtis. Like, if I had any way to obtain Great Henges, I might think about that, and that might be on this list. But I have no way to obtain 4 copies of the Great Henge by Saturday.
Do you want the truth, Josh? You should not play an aggro deck. I would tell you to play an aggro deck because I think you should, but you are not an aggro player.
I've seen Josh play this, and I know this deck, and it's not like a typical. It's more of a combo deck.
What, green Stompy?
No, it's the Galta Stomp.
Right. So I've seen the deck. Like, I know about it. And I've also played Galta Stompy. It's more aggressive than anything Josh likes.
I've seen Josh 5-0 with it. Like, I've literally at like two events in a row, and I literally got mad at him because I wanted to win with the deck.
So I tried to
farming events, and I wanted to farm. Okay,
it's Broachy. Okay,
I was like, hey, stop farming events. I want to farm events, Josh.
I think if he's playing a Stompy deck like that, though, he should be playing green black.
It is green black.
So the green black one, not the mono green one, because there's 2.
So the green sent me the mono green, and I immediately
sent. He immediately sent me the green black list with 4 copies of the Great Henge in it, and 4 copies of our boy Rotting Regisaur, because who the fuck cares about card advantage?
No, Josh, he is not our boy. He is my boy.
We have
Reggie.
Well, fine,
Reggie
your
is
boy.
Crazy for this deck.
7/6.
I love Reggie.
I don't know if Sirach is good. Is it?
Oh, it is.
Yeah, it's fine.
You get to give anything. Like, you play Galta with him out, and he just gives it haste.
Haste? Meh. I don't know.
I mean, haste on a big dumb green thing that like usually wouldn't have haste is actually pretty good.
Yeah.
There's not a lot of ways to deal with most of the things in this deck. So
why give your opponent a turn to try and find a way to deal with it?
Because it comes at a cost. It comes at a cost of you're playing no interaction main board, which I don't really like.
I mean, most of these decks don't play main deck interaction anyway.
Yeah, I don't like that. It seems silly. There should be something like Vivian or I don't know, anything.
I'm with it though that it's not playing it. I think if you want interaction, you want to board it. And I've also I 5-0'd with a deck like this in Modern that played only interaction in the sideboard. Like it was boarding like 4 fatal pushes and like 2 trophies. And I was like, yeah, this deck's great. Because I don't want to interact. You just want to punch.
What the? Yeah, but there's not a lot of good removal in the format. It seems like so.
So Josh, do you want my real answer of what I think you should play?
Yes.
Like it's definitely not something you would play.
Yeah. So there's a lot of there's a lot. Let me go over the decks that I can reasonably obtain before you give me your answer. The decks that I reasonably have is blue-white control, which I'm not a fan of whatsoever. And I don't think that deck is very good. Even the version that has a Gearhulk main, I don't think it's good. Like I just don't think it has the tools. Like it's just gonna get ran over. Maybe some copies of Hushbringer and Dream Trawler in the sideboard fix it a little bit, but I'm not interested in finding out for this weekend.
No, I don't think so.
The other the other deck that me and Ryan have been tossing back and forth is we've been tossing back and forth a version of Cats.
I think that deck's pretty bad though.
Yeah,
I was on board because I thought it was a joke, but it's like it's really not good. Like I have not tried it with less lands. The amount of lands that Saffron Olive put into that list,
it's too many.
I feel is wrong.
Yeah,
he plays 24 lands, Curtis, in this like deck trying to cast a 5-drop, and I'm sitting here like, yeah, we can cast that 5-drop off of like 22.
Yeah, and I'm like fine, and I like bought a bunch of cards for it, and I'm fine for owning those cards because if it's a meme, I don't give a crap because like this is gonna be a fun. This is a deck that I'm gonna bust out at FNM, and I'm gonna have a ton of fun with. Because
if the entire meta this weekend is going to be aggro decks, you play Cats.
I don't know.
If it's not, you don't touch it.
Again, that's what I'm worried about, and I'm also worried about this deck being good enough.
It's not. I'll tell you that right
now.
Yeah,
so why am I? Yeah, so why am I even considering this for this weekend? That's the problem.
I don't know.
But
I mean,
if you want to play an aggro deck that gains life, just play friggin' White Weenie with Daxos. Like I don't know.
Yeah. The other idea that I had was an idea from I actually found it on Twitter was a 5-0 list that Riot and Overturf posted. That was is it Phoenix deck more aggro-y slanted by having Monastery, Swiftspear, and Silscar mages in the main, and just like it being like your threats being Swiftspear, Soulscar, and then Arc-like Phoenix with like Ops, Chart of Course, Strategic Planning, 4 copies of Treasure Cruise. Like it has Wild Slashes, Crash Throughs, Lightning Axes, 4 young Pyromancers on the board for when they have Grave Hate.
Yeah, could be something. Have you played a lot of Phoenix?
I played a lot of Modern Phoenix. I played like a shit ton of Standard Phoenix when it was here.
I want to know. I feel like it's really good, but I've seen like pretty high finishes.
Like I sent you a list. Like the list I sent you would probably be the 75 I would play if I was to play that deck.
It's scary though. I don't really like Swiftspear that much. If that shocks people, I can see why.
It doesn't shock me because I know which card you like better.
It's just like such a bad top deck sometimes.
Yeah.
Like if anyone knows Curtis has a favorite 1-drop that next play.
Well, yeah, but that's not for this deck, unfortunately.
I agree with you.
Although we could try. No, I'm just kidding.
I would believe that though.
You believe Bomat Courier?
We're trying this.
But I don't know, dude. The what's it called? Thing in the Ice Shell is the scariest one for me.
I just like people have been like dropping been dropping Thing in the Ice like really hard and just running young Pyromancer, and like I'm not about it.
Why wouldn't you do both? Why wouldn't you play both?
Because I don't think there's room for both.
What?
I think you really need to make that decision. Like, do you want to be going more token wide, or You know what I mean? I think that's what you need to decide on when you come to that. I just think there's not room for both.
I just don't think it's fast enough.
On the minor lack of synergy.
I just don't think it's fast enough, honestly. Like, I think Phoenix just isn't fast enough.
Against Chonky Red, like, oh, you gotta be kidding me.
Do you know what my answer is, Josh? Of like the deck that if I were to go to play this thing this weekend, I would.
What is the deck you would hand me if you?
If I were going myself, and I'm prefacing that because I don't think you would play it.
Okay.
I would play Mono Black Aggro. It has just enough interaction with Thoughtseize and like all the kill spells that it can deal with things that Chonky Red throws out.
Yeah.
As well as just killing your opponent, and eventually its long game is you just play Pack Rat and overload the board with rats.
Yeah.
And like to me, that's just like the way the game should go. And not to mention the dirty thought that it is Pack Rat and Rankle. Oh, I'll make a rat. I'm gonna attack with Rankle and sack this rat, so you have to sack a creature too.
God, I don't know. Mono Black is I haven't played at all with it, so I don't really. I know it's grindier.
That's it. Like it grinds if it needs to, but beyond that, it's just aggro deck to kill people. I mean, we could always just hand Josh human weenies with as many lords as it has, and Josh just try to run people over.
I don't know.
He plays 4 Thalia's Lieutenant, 4 Benelish Marshal, and 2 Venerated Loxodon. That's my kind of deck.
Interesting. Are you gonna play in a bunch, Josh?
What do you mean? Am I gonna play it a bunch?
Are you gonna play in like a bunch of them?
Well, there's one PTQ basically.
Oh, there's only one. I thought there was like a bajillion. Like we
there's there's 5 for the weekend, but I'm going on Saturday. I'll get there at 10:30, which means that like I won't be there in time for the first one. Which means like if I want to play a PTQ, it's noon on Saturday, and that's it.
So there isn't one on Sunday?
Oh, there is, but I'm not staying down there.
Oh, okay.
We're coming back Saturday night.
Because I was gonna be like, if you're playing in multiple, maybe you bring multiple decks and you can be like audibling. But anyways, mono green. That's like that's.
We could reasonably probably put it together for.
Mono green is like what everyone's playing the mono green ramp, aren't they?
Yeah, I feel like everyone's playing the ramp deck, yeah. I don't have pretty much any of this deck.
Boros Feather.
What? That should be what Josh plays.
That's first place at this Newington Pioneer IQ. Like, what, dude? Get me down there.
Get me down there. Like, Curtis, you want to jam those people playing Boros Feather?
I'll be like, dude, all right, let's go. Best of 3, me and you. Boros Feather. I thought it was going to be a scary deck.
Curtis is just shitting on Boros Feather.
It just makes me think so much less of these IQs. Holy moly, Batman. So, Mono Black. Oh, Bant Company. That sounds spicy.
So, Matt Smith has been playing. Matt Smith has been playing Bant Coco.
Yeah.
And, like, he's been doing well with it. Like, that deck's apparently really.
Here's what's good in that deck is Spell Queller is bonkers. Reflector Mage. Ugh, Rishgar. No thanks.
Josh, I will hand you Boros Knights to play again.
Boros Knights. Embercleave is good. I'll give you that.
It plays Embercleave, Wild/Fervent Champion, and Inspiring Veteran for its main deck red cards.
Not a lot of people can beat Embercleave these days, is what I'm telling out.
The card's so good.
Yeah.
And dude, post-board it gets Boros Charm and Experimental Frenzy.
Wow. This Coco deck is weird, guys. So that's really funny though. I gotta get down to one of these things. Holy
Curtis is like, I'm gonna destroy everybody.
Look at these
I get to just show up and play Chonky Red? Dude.
I feel like
this whole thing's gas.
Most of the red decks I could build could beat most of, like, if not all of these decks easily.
I just like to think, Curtis, in your head, you're just like, God, I can go down there and just fuck up these people.
Yeah, easily. I'm like looking at their decks, like, I beat this one, I beat this one, I beat this one. Haven't played Hardened Scales. Boros feather is hilarious. Like, dude, you kidding me? What are you doing?
Wow.
Bringing this to tournaments. Boros charm. I mean, Titans. Like, I've never heard of some of these. Like, Reckless Rage is really good. I will give them. But like, I don't know, Soulscar Mage.
Is that the one mana removal spell that only Boros Feather play?
Soulscar Mage and Chain Whirler don't care about your petty tricks.
Oh, Curtis, I had a thing for you from the Cats League that I learned. And Josh was very taken back by that.
What?
This is such a weird deck.
So I played against Chonky Red, right? My opponent played Soulscar Mage.
Yeah.
And I casted, I had a Fleece Mane lying out, and I cast Dromoka's command, and I said, I'm going to put counter on my cat and make it fight your Soulscar Mage.
Sure.
And the 1-1 counter disappeared.
Okay.
Because non-combat damage was dealt, and therefore, So Josh and I are both sitting here, and I'm like, what the fuck happened? And I read Soulscar Mage, and I'm like, holy shit.
Soulscar's kind of messed up.
Yeah. Soulscar's insane.
It starts dealing with things that Red shouldn't be able to deal with. And then it gets
I'm sitting
real
here
weird.
next leveling in my opponent in my head. I'm like, oh, I killed their thing. I'm good at this game. And then my opponent's just like, no, you're not.
No,
Shut up.
Nope.
Soulscar and Damage get along really well.
So what?
Like, I'll take that trade off for haste. With Swifty Girl.
So what I'm hearing is like none of the decks I have are like probably going to be good enough for this tournament.
I mean, the good deck, I think, personally, like I said, the Thing version is still really good. But if the PZ version's better, and I'm sure someone has some freaking brazen borrowers, dude.
I have some laying around.
Dude, everyone has that. Like, everyone has these cards.
So I know what you were saying. What you would play, Ryan. What would you say I should play?
So since it's you, I was thinking either Azorius Spirits or is it Phoenix?
Phoenix.
Because they play these things that are called blue cards that you tend to like.
I feel like a Braid is so good right now. Spirits? Let me see the Spirits list. That's even more Brazen Borrowers. Empyrean Eagle? Ugh.
Why does Brazen Borrower have to be $1 million?
Because it's insane in draft, apparently.
So insane.
It's insane everywhere. It's just good.
So insane in draft, it had to be a mythic rare for a bounce spell plus a 3/1.
Excuse me, did you want to be something different?
That's what Ben Stark said. He was like, if it was anything less, no one would play draft. But people didn't want to play draft because of the bots anyways.
Yeah, no kidding.
Mono Secret Keeper meta was tough.
Mono Secret Keeper.
Yeah,
so tough, dude.
So
40 card decks playing against friggin' 8 Secret Keepers.
So it basically feels like I still have a lot of decisions to be made. So,
I mean, yeah, you should probably watch what's it called? Like some.
I've been watching a lot of. I've been watching a lot of.
Dredgeless Dredge.
About what?
Dredgeless Dredge.
Seems fine. I just don't know how I would board with it like at all.
You're allowed to have a single piece of paper with
I'm allowed to have a single piece of paper with what?
With like if you own a sideboard guide, you're allowed to have a single piece of paper sideboard guide. Huh? Yeah, you're allowed to have a single sheet of paper, one-sided, I believe. With sideboard guide.
I had a 2-sided sheet during GP.
Then you might be allowed to have 2. I've never actually done one.
I just had a single. When I played GP Hartford, I made myself a double-sided sheet with just some, like, basically the matchups that, like, I feel like were going to be the most popular on the weekend, and just went, like, here's some, like, don't strictly follow that, like a note to myself not to strictly follow this, but here's the cards that are bad in those matchups, like because that's the part that I really needed help with, was like what cards to take out, was like take these cards out, they suck, and then figure it out from there.
Well, that's what I'm saying, like, no matter what, you're allowed to do that, so, like, you should do that.
Yeah.
For no other reason than, like, it just lets you know what you're doing.
Yeah. Maybe I should just play Phoenix, but I'm not super confident in my ability to play this deck.
Phoenix?
Yeah.
What we just said how you played that the most though.
Yeah, like if you want to go off of like the amount of times you played the deck, you should play Phoenix.
And then that you like the mono green deck, I think, with the black splash is still really good.
It would be
agree.
it would be if I had a way to grab the card. Like obtaining the cards.
Hinges?
Obtaining the cards is a real problem if I
Does
decide.
it help you to know that I was considering just building that deck anyway?
What, the Henge deck?
Yeah.
I mean,
That is a deck I would play. Like I am 100% considering it.
If you're buying the cards I don't have,
I can see how that would be a good engine in it, but 4 seems like a lot. I don't know.
if you're buying
a lot of time you're probably just paying 2.
If you're buying the cards I don't have, which like is literally just like self-inflicted wound is nothing, like 2 overgrown tombs I don't have. I'm pretty sure I have Scrap Heap Scroungers somewhere, but I literally cannot find them right now, so I am super willing to just buy them again because they're like $2 for the playset. Love Struck Beast I don't own. I'd probably need to buy 1 Ronus, the Reggies. I have 4 Steel Leafs between you and me, Curtis. No Soroks. We have 3
I also
Galtas.
own a playset of Steel Leafs over here.
Yeah, like
if you want foils or not.
I have 3 hard. I don't give a shit. I have 3 hard Akarians.
I don't care now, but you know.
And obviously, the Great Henges. Yeah.
Ever since my Phoenix, my poor rekindling Phoenix curled, you know, I never went back.
So this is just out of that foil life forever now.
It was like $70. It was like a $70 card, and it just curled so bad. Like the day after I got it,
It was a banana.
It's so sad. It's so pretty.
Yeah. I also have Fire's Super Friends, but I don't really feel like that's competitive.
I haven't seen many lists of it yet.
I'm over here saying you should be playing playset to deploy the Gatewatch in that deck, but you know.
You have to play. You have to play some amount of interaction, Ryan, and by playing that interaction,
What's interaction, Josh? I don't understand.
You gotta play interaction.
Combo winning interaction, yeah.
You gotta play Verdict and Clarion. Hard to Cure is probably a good idea. You gotta play like Fae of Wishes to grab your sideboard hate pieces, like Pithing Needle, Rest in Peace, Authority of the Consoles, Days Undoing.
Curtis, do you know what Deploy the Gatewatch does?
I'm reading it and I'm underwhelmed.
Yeah, Deploy the Gatewatch is a look set.
It's Coco for Planeswalkers.
It's dig through time for Planeswalkers that you get to 7/4. Yeah,
you say it costs 6. I say it doesn't matter.
It's too expensive to want to play 4 of in this format.
You can play Galta on turn 3.
What's your point?
I mean,
you're not doing that till turn 6, and then you just fucking die.
You win the game on turn 4. With that.
All I'm hearing is negativity right now.
I'm trying to get Josh to win a tournament, not be sad and
you know what? If he wants to win a tournament, Curtis, here are some things he should do. I'm gonna give Josh the inside scoop on what he should do if he wants to win a tournament. You ready? Number 1, don't fucking listen to us.
Don't listen. I know he's asking us.
Right? Like, don't ask us. We don't know.
No, we're trying to help. Trying to help here.
Okay, sorry. Don't ask me.
I don't know. I
know anything.
If you can figure out how to deal with turn 3 Galta, I mean, I'd love to hear.
You know my answer to dealing with turn 3 Galta is you play Mono Black Devotion and the new 2-mana kill spell.
I guess. You're just getting run over by everything else.
Nah. You see, you get to play this thing called Knight of the Even Legion.
You're still Heart of Kirin, Steel Leaf Champion.
You're also playing Steel Leaf Heart of Kirin.
Rotting Regisaur, questing, like, there's a lot of green threats. And green is super just, like, beefy. And it's just, like, inherently anti-aggro. I don't know, it's tough, man. Let's look at this one. Ooh, Coco.
I just want to
black elves.
I just want to play the PTQ so I can get my Cryptic Command promo. I just want to have a chance to not embarrass myself.
Isn't black a black green elf list that won a PTQ. It's pretty cool.
So, do you have any other questions about your deck choice, Josh?
I'm just as lost as when we started, so thanks.
I mean, I've been trying to help you, but you don't listen to me.
You're telling me not to listen to you, to be fair.
Because so here's why I'm telling you not to listen to me.
You're discrediting yourself more than anyone, right?
You really are.
Why I'm telling him not to listen to me? Because I tell him things all the time, and he ignores me anyway.
Well, you're telling him to play cats.
No! I'm over here saying I'll hand him a deck that he could just literally probably think less with and probably do better with.
Maybe, yeah. I'm just trying to look at these results and make it
and
better.
Like,
then hand me mono black.
I haven't been
fuck
following
it.
Pioneer.
Then fuck it. Hand me mono black and I'll play mono black.
Oh, I said think less with. That one you think a lot. I was gonna hand you.
Hand me what?
Mono white. You think less.
You'll just die to Supreme Verdict.
If I hand you mono black, Josh, you're just gonna think a lot, which is fine. That's kind of what it does. It's just basically a mid-range deck, but
then,
I own this whole deck. I just need to get pack rats.
Then hand me mono black and I'll play mono black.
Okay, I'll build it one of these nights. I need to get pack rats though.
I like if I come to the shop Friday night when I'm done work and you have mono black built for me, I will play it.
Okay, I mean I can do it.
Kalitas Trader of Get, Leylines of the Voids in the sideboard.
I own the sideboard. I just need to find my place at a Leylines. I own Downfalls somewhere. I own Damning Spheres, own Duress. I own Urborg, I own Swamps, own New Vaults, own Castle Lockcoins. Yeah, the only things I have to buy are Pack Rats and Bloodsoaked Champions. So
you build me it. I will play it and deal with the consequences. How do you feel
about playing Rakdos Knights in Pioneer?
I'd rather just play this.
I mean, fair.
If you're gonna,
have you heard the gospel of slapping Embercleave on a Regisaur?
Yes,
Rakdos Knights would be a lot better with push, I would say.
So I have a Rakdos list that I've been messing with, Curtis. And it's actually not that great.
Down too. Ooh, that's scary.
Yeah, that's why I was like the mono black list. I think is.
Yeah, but like, it doesn't have Embercleave.
I agree. I'm over here saying we should be playing to play Embercleave. I have 2 Embercleaves I donate to the cause. Mostly so I can hear Josh on the next podcast talk about his beats of just destroying people with an Embercleave. And then Josh should understand why it was on my top 5 list of cards from last year.
Well, I mean, they banned all the better ones.
Excuse me, sir. Do not discredit Embercleave.
Hey, unfortunately, someone who played as much standard as I did, I realized after a while, we were just playing with tier 2 and 3 decks that whole time because all the tier 1s got banned, which is very sad.
Excuse me, I was beating Oko with my Embercleave.
Yeah, like 1 out of 10 you beat Oko, but the other 9 times is a feel bad.
So do we have anything else to say on this? So I can move on to my surprise.
Sure, you can. No. I guess the promise is I'll build something to have as a backup, and if Ryan builds me mono black, I will play it.
Yeah, you just have to hope I'm not lazy.
Otherwise, you're playing a big red deck that I'd make you.
Honestly, Kurt.
I mean, if I come home Thursday night and I feel like
what?
Because like I can't.
I don't know. Do you want me to potentially win?
Yeah, mono black will help you win. I think.
Yeah.
You just build you a red deck to beat the mirror. That's what I'm good at.
I mean, if you want to beat red and only red, I build you mono game.
No,
I want to have a chance.
With Heliod and Walking Ballista.
You'll lose to so many other things.
I want to have a chance.
Well, it has the Ballista Canister said the Ballista combo was bad.
Yeah, I've heard that too.
Like, isn't it just a turn 3, turn 4 win?
Yeah.
Or no?
So
no, because you have to play the Ballista on 2 on turn 4.
You have to untap with it twice, right?
Yeah. You have to untap with Heliod twice, yeah.
Heath has said it's good. I've heard it's bad from other places.
You have
but like Heath is a best deck player, so he keeps his ear to the meta like crazy.
You have.
He said it was good.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah, I feel like you have to untap with too much stuff.
But to be fair, Heath has been doing a lot of sealed because he's playing the GP this weekend.
Yeah.
And like, so that's the thing is, Heath is the kind of player where he shifts his focus to whatever event he's playing next.
Makes sense.
So like, we're going to a team event next month, and he's playing Pioneer for us because the weekend before he's going to be in Phoenix playing Pioneer.
Mm-hmm.
So Zach and I have to figure out the other 2 slots, and I think I'm playing Modern. I don't know though. So are you 2 ready for this?
Oh, yeah,
I guess.
So my surprise is I had a deck idea today.
Oh no!
And I want you 2 to help me build it.
I'm so glad this is way more muted than what I was expecting.
Yeah.
Oh, I was not gonna go crazy here. I literally just I had this deck idea in Pioneer, and I'm like, I want these 2 to help me build the deck list.
Well,
and I was gonna spring it on you on the podcast.
I think Theros is gonna shift everything a lot.
But... I mean, we're gonna be building this with Theros cards because online they're allowed.
All right, word. Are we doing this on cast or are we?
Oh, we're doing this right now on the podcast. Yes.
Okay. Yeah.
So, also, if people like this, we can do this more often. I have a bunch of dumb deck ideas, and sometimes I don't know how to build it. So the cards that we're playing 4 of each, and this is a requirement, are Dread Presence and Scape Shift.
Let me look at this. Oh, the swamp guy.
Yeah, I just want to do this to people.
So it's green black. It's actually pretty easy.
So you're obviously playing.
Put this in historic.
You're obviously playing for the Prismatic Omen guy.
Yeah.
Like you have no choices.
Oh my god, this is even easier now. What the heck?
What's his name?
I don't know.
Oh jeez, Rick. This is.
Oh jeez.
This is a
guy who has a shirt off and is not a druid for some fucking reason.
What did I play? Like you play Route, you play that new green flash.
So
Omen.
You know what we get to play in this format, Curtis? It's better than Route. And I say better, but it's like the same. It's actually doesn't matter.
Definitely not better. What?
Explosive Vegetation.
It's not better. It's literally worse than.
That's why I paused and said, actually, it's about the same, if not worse. But like,
Circ Route can get the gates, which is what is more important for us.
Well, I mean, we don't need the gates.
Well, we need. Oh, that's true. I'm thinking about Scape Shift still.
Hey, dude,
I'm thinking about Field of the Dead still.
No, you're too good. You're too deep. You're too deep. Come on.
I'm going way too deep.
So I was thinking we play Hour Promise. I don't know how many, but we definitely play Hour Promise, right?
Yeah.
4?
It's actually not. So you need to find a way to get Dread Presence, and that's pretty much it.
Right. And so here I'm over here thinking like, what's the best way to do that?
There's some good ways. In black, let's see.
Well, the other thought was like,
so you're a ramp deck. You can play that tutor card, yo.
Which one? Scheming Symmetry?
No, I mean sure, but no.
That card's bad. You mean Dark Petition?
Yeah, that one. The one that like ramps you.
Yeah, you get 3 mana if you have Spell Mastery. I'm gonna play 1 copy or 2 copies of Nissa's Renewal.
You can literally play 4 of this card because you're a ramp deck.
Dark Petition, yeah. Okay, sure. We should 100%. Play some number of Nissa, I think.
Oh yeah, sure.
Nissa who shakes the world.
It's just like Grazer. Oh man, you could do you could just do Elementals if you really wanted to get deep into it.
That's too deep, Curtis. We need to come back. Dread Presence is a nightmare.
Yeah, but like it puts in that deck puts in more lands than any other deck.
I mean, you are correct, but it's a nightmare.
Yeah, but you find everything with Risen Reef and Krasis.
Oh, you know what we're gonna play in this deck because I'm an animal.
What?
Torment of Hailfire.
Is there? Yeah, that's a good one. Is there like a Culminate or something?
We can play Grow from the Ashes
or Cultivate. That's what it's called, Cultivate.
I know we have Grow from the Ashes. Is it worth playing something like Circuitous Root or Explosive Vegetation?
Yeah, those cards are insane.
So actually, here's another question for you that you might know. Josh might too. Do we want any interaction main deck?
You could do like Death Sprout.
Well, because right now I'm at 38 cards, and we have 0 interaction.
Death Sprout? Not in this deck. Kill a thing, draw a card. Cultivate. Is that not legal? That's 2011. That's rough.
Do we just want to play?
Cultivate's busted.
Do we just want to play like Abrupt Decay main or Languish? Is Languish just where we want to be?
It kills your swamp guy.
Yeah, no, we're not playing Languish. It's no on Languish.
Probably play you can play
Trophy Push.
What's the one with Languish and then the return 2 things? Find Finality?
Oh yeah.
You can play that. Oh, you get elves too. Wow.
I mean, I'm not currently playing the elves, but like
I don't think you want to play elves. I was just gonna say.
Yeah, I don't either.
Play Grazer. You could play.
So right now, because I just put in a bunch of for us.
You just play Finale, dude, and you find it with Finale.
I'll put in like 1 or 2 finales. I'm currently on like 4 Grazer, 4 Dryad, 4 Dread Presence, 4 Nissa, 2 Torment of Hailfire, 4 Explosive Veggies, 4 Escape Shift, 3 Dark Petition, 3 Hour of Promise, 2 Nissa's Renewal, and 2 Find Finality.
Nissa's Renewal? What's that one?
It's a 6 mana, gain 7, put 3 lands into play.
Jesus.
So it becomes a 6 mana, gain 13.
Oh, and it, Nissa's Triumph is a card you might be interested in.
Green to go grab Forest.
Yeah, or if you have Nissa, it's any lands.
Yeah, that's fair.
But it requires 2 levels of setup, so it might not be good.
Yes, Josh, we are playing Nissa. You know what? I'm gonna do something for my own personal enjoyment right now. I'm making room for this, but we're gonna play 2 copies of Garrick Cursed Huntsman.
I mean, it's a ramp deck. You can play it.
Well, so I was originally like just shoving 7 mana Garrick and go really deep.
That's pretty deep.
But like, I don't think that's good enough.
Yeah, it might not work. But what else?
I think we just sideboard most of our interaction and say fuck it.
Yeah, you can just do like a ton of interaction, black interaction and stuff.
And we can get away with playing a bunch of not a bunch, but like some non-swamp dual lands to facilitate our green.
Yeah, are there a lot of enchantments in Pioneer? Mystic Repeal is nasty. The 1 mana, 1 green, tuck an enchantment to the bottom of your opponent's library. Or it might just be player, actually. Card's not really fair.
So here's a question: do we want more than 14 swamps?
14.
This is with 0 basic.
Probably want 20-something, 26 lands, 27 lands.
27 lands? Okay, we need to make cuts then, because we only have 24.
Yeah. So you need to cut.
Because I feel like we want at least like
to cut those weird, expensive Nissa things. I think.
I cut one of them weird.
Already.
I cut one already.
Yeah.
Nissa is? Yeah. The renewal is.
Oh yeah, Nissa's gas. What else?
I think we actually trim on the explosive vegetations.
Maybe. Possibly.
Well, so the way that I know ramp decks work is you kind of pick your ramp numbers you want. So if you want to ramp at 4, you want to ramp 2 and 4. If you want to ramp at 3, you do 1, 3, 5. So like Grazer, Dryad, Hour Promise.
Dryad. Oh yeah, I forgot about Dryad. Sure.
Yeah, like that's just kind of what I remember from ramp decks, but
you just got to be careful because you have to play a lot of lands with those cards.
You are correct. We want basic forest, right? Like, I'm not crazy about that.
Nope.
Yeah, you're right. Actually, that's not terrible. So I actually have a question about Nissa Who Shakes the World. Should she just be Nissa Worldmaker?
Nissa Worldmaker.
Because we're not playing that many forests. Or Nissa Vital Force.
I don't think is anything better than 5-mana.
I mean, these are both also 5-mana Nissas.
What'd you say?
So these are also both 5-mana Nissas.
Yeah, but
+1 is untap target land. It becomes a 4.
Untap up to 4. That's kind of cool.
Oh yeah, you're correct. It does not untap.
That's crazy.
Okay, so Nissa Vital Force.
Nissa who shakes the world is Nissa who wins the game, in my opinion.
You are correct. The only reason I'm considering other ones, I'm only considering other ones because we don't have that many forests. You know.
Yeah, but I don't know.
Like Vital Force is.
I don't think it's bad. I don't think. Let me just say, I don't think that card's better than Nissa who shakes the world. Just because you win, you win on the 3/3s and the ult, like, just like by default.
Vital Force, like, also, to be fair, the ultimate's not going to do anything in our deck besides make our lands indestructible
and get all the forests and overgrown tombs out
to get our 6 forests out of our deck, Curtis.
But it does a lot. I don't know.
Right. So like I agree that she does a lot. I'm just like I'm questioning if playing one that has a little more utility. Like with Vital Force, you get to draw cards, regrow something, make a 5/5, then untap it, and it has haste.
Yeah, maybe.
That being said, Nesso Shakes the World is still very good. It's just it doesn't ramp us as much as I would.
Yeah.
Oh, actually, no. Curtis is right, Josh. We're playing Nesso Shakes the World.
That's what we both been saying.
Dryad of Elysian Grove makes all our swamps into forests.
Yeah.
That's where, yeah, sorry, took me a few.
It's okay. It's okay. It's just you're in the know now.
So I'm gonna send you guys a list real quick, and you tell me if this is a good change anything else.
Oh, that was you.
Yeah, I sent you both out.
That was as well. Alright. Near ski shift.
I didn't say it was going to be good.
This is not good. I don't know. You have to try. Like it's hard for me to look at decks in a format I haven't played that much of, and
Drug Presence. Untap, play Our Promise. Profit. Play Nissa, then play Giant Torment of Hellfire.
perhaps. Might need more X spells.
Curtis is right. We need more X spells.
Oh my god.
Am I wrong, Curtis? We need more X spells.
You're ramping to nothing right now. Yeah. I just think of games when you don't have. Excuse me. But that's what Dark Petition's for. I don't know that. Oh yeah, we can get Torment too. Nice.
Yeah.
Just trying to fade 3-mana Ashiok. Classic.
Is that not the plan of most?
It's so weird to me that Kathis isn't being played more. Because like I can.
It's not hard.
I can. Well, that's
okay.
not
Sorry.
so easy to say.
It's not hard once you know what you're doing. Because Curtis and I played it a lot.
Well, yeah, but like even then, it took me a long time to like really understand when like I just like won and stuff. And I've even seen like Huey and stuff be like, what was going on with that deck when you first saw it?
Okay, sorry, I'm a combo player. To me, it was easy.
It's just, but like, it was easy when you knew what it was. We only knew what it was when it just like appeared, like and was explained to us basically.
Yeah, once you told me about the deck and I just looked at it, I'm in.
Yeah, and I don't understand how. I don't know what is hating that out. Like, it's good against aggro, it's good against control. It's just, I don't know. Maybe people don't have those cards. Like, maybe people just don't own them.
Honestly, Josh, if you knew what you were doing, I'd tell you to play it.
But like, there has to be something holding it back, right?
I mean, I agree. There probably is. I just don't know what.
Just like Nissa, I don't know.
This is probably one of the coolest decks I've ever seen.
Emery really
I want to play this deck.
Just loop Emery's. It's like, ugh.
That's my closing thought on this episode. I want to play this deck because it seems cool. I just think it looks neat. I'm not saying it's good. It looks neat.
Oh yeah,
I'm tired. I want to go to bed.
That's fair.
Oh yeah, that's why me sending you that was my last put on this entire episode. Was like, here you go. Yeah. Sweet.
Nice. Very sweet.
Memes.
Yeah, and more jank, that kind of stuff. Oh crap, my mic was off. I don't know how long my mic was off for.
We heard you.
We'll find out. Anyway, have a good night, everybody.
Bye.
Take it easy.
Are you done?